I live back in the woods, you see. A woman and the kids and the dogs and me.
Hey guys, JC Smith here. This is the old railroad truck with a good motor, the piece of junk I bought, or as we thought, it looks like a piece of junk. I guess that's the way to say it. Anyways, today I want to get the adapters off. I want to get the 19.5 wheels off, get the adapters off, and we're going to put some old junker Super Duty wheels on. You're going to laugh when you see how I brought these tires down here. I already took the bed off. And they stay. I wouldn't suggest you do this in your part of the town, your part of the world. But
yeah, but you went slow.
Yeah. So anyways, I want to get these wheels and tires off and put these junkers on. I thought I had another Super Duty with crummy tires on it down here, but I guess not. So I'll have to send you back home to get some.
Okay.
And that stink. Anyways, so that's what I want to do. I want to get all these off real quick. So let's get at it, and I'll show you how the adapters work on these things. Alright, I got these lug nuts off. Gotta bounce the tire loose. It's a little stuck on there. Come loose that time. It's a 19.5. I'm not going to hurt the sidewall. Look at that massive adapter plate. See if that's stuck. Probably hasn't been off there in a long time. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Breaking loose. See, it's spreading pretty good now. Oh yeah. Have to get a pry bar in there now. Or not. There you go. I wonder what that thing weighs. It's pretty heavy. Look at that rotor. That looks like new. That rotor looks like new. You know what I mean? The face looks new. The actual brake surface looks new.
Yeah.
No rust at all. That's what I like about these. Here's a new tie rod. That's what I like about the railroad trucks. Usually got some good parts. Alright, now, the only drawback to this, oh look at this. Check this out. You can see where the 19.5 was rubbing. There's actually
a groove in there.
Yeah, see if you can get down there. You can see
Let me get out of the way.
the tire's rubbed enough. It's actually rubbed metal away right in here. And you see how thick that metal is. I'd tell you that's about a third of the way through. I bet they didn't realize that. Alright, let's get the rest off.
I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive.
Well, since the weather's pretty nice and I got all my tires changed out, I thought I'd go ahead and take the Hyrail unit off the front of this truck. You can see, maybe you can't because I'm in the shadows, it bolts to the front of the bumper mount right here. And I've got all the bolts out. I've got it supported by jacks. I don't expect that to hold it correctly, but it'll hold it from completely smashing onto the floor, because there's still, or on the ground I guess, because there's still some hoses and connectors that have to be taken loose. So I just want to get it loose and drop down to give me a little more access over in this area here towards the back. So let's get this thing off. Okay, all the wheels are on. Next we'll probably take these running boards off, and I've got the whole entire Hyrail system off. This was pretty cool. The way this works is it bolts to the base, the bumper mount here, and then they also ran this plate in the frame back farther, and there's a bolt that comes up from a factory hole in the frame, so that helps to keep it from falling like this and make it a little more stiffer. I took the wiring all loose up at the control panel. They're all just 2A valves on top of there, so top of 2A solenoids on top of the valves, and then this is the actual remote right here, which you can run these things up and down outside the truck or inside the truck. So it's got a whole control panel inside. Let me show you that. Yeah, so it's got that whole control panel that runs it all, which goes through this relay box. So I mean, this is really kind of a elaborate setup. Okay, so anyhow, I'll pull this out and I'll keep this. There may be some use for it later, I don't know. There's a nice feature in this. It has what's called wig-wag, and it's controlled through this relay box. And what it is it takes the two front headlights, well, obviously they're front headlights, and while they're on, it'll turn one off, the other one off, back and forth like a police car. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I wouldn't probably use them on headlights, but it'd be okay to use on like strobe lights or, you know, caution lights or something like that. But a lot of good relays in here, and they're all removable. They just unplug. They're just very tight. So kind of a cool circuit board setup to hang on to. So I will. But hopefully next, this is going to be the end of this one. But next time we'll be getting the body off, get these running boards off, and we'll be ready to pull the motor and transmission. And then once all that's off, we'll go ahead and probably take the frame, set it aside, all that stuff, pull the rear differential, because I believe this differential is a limited slip. Well, I know it's a limited slip. I can't remember what gear ratio. I think it's 373. It is, yeah. It's a 373 limited slip, so we want to hang on to that rear end because that can be useful in some of the trucks that we play with here. So anyways, now as far as this Hyrail is concerned, I'll put it up for sale, but quite honestly, most time this stuff ends up in the scrap bin. We just go to the scrap yard. I'll pull off the electric over hydraulic motor. I'd pull off the valving system here, and probably maybe the cylinders here, because they're kind of unique cylinders, and they've got hydrolocks on them, it looks like, which I think these are hydraulic locks, which basically that means it takes pressure to unlock it so it can go either way. So if you want to go up, you have to have pressure that releases it so that it can go up. So yeah, some good pieces there. Most of the time I take these off, I lay them to the side until I'm tired of messing with them and moving around and whatever, and then by that time I just take them to the scrapyard. Things like this, I've got little red caps. We cover these, and I'll also take these loose. They're on a swivel, and I'll turn both of these down to keep the water out, and then I'll put the little red caps on, keep the moisture out. So if I need it later for whatever, it should be good, we hope. Anyways, so that's it for this one. In the next video, like I said, we'll be pulling the cab off, taking the rear end out, getting motor and transmission out. And remember, this setup is going in the 2007 crew cab short bed. So let me show you that truck real quick. Okay, so that motor and transmission is going in this truck. So we're kind of getting everything ready to go. We're waiting on parts of the V10s so that once those trucks are done, this is next. We're going to peel that bed off. We're going to take the cab off. We're going to remove the transmission, remove the transfer case, clean the frame all up, do the same thing I typically do, give it 3 coats of acrylic enamel paint with a hardener, and we're going to get it all done up, and then we'll have this one up for sale once I work out all the bugs and go through it and make sure she's going to be a decent truck. So there's where we're at, guys. So if you like what we're doing, give us that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.